Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 266, looking at the Classic Art Tokens project that is currently over on Kickstarter by Original Magic Art. This is an incredibly cool opportunity for me to talk both a little bit about copyright. For those of you who don't know, I happen to be a copyright lawyer, and to talk about my favorite game, Magic the Gathering. This is a super cool project. It's currently over on Kickstarter. It has well exceeded its $5,000 goal. It's almost up to $70,000 as of putting this video together. I myself backed this project at the $30 level, which is the level that gets you one of each of the tokens. What this project has done is taken some amazingly cool classic artwork and turned it into tokens for Magic the Gathering. This is really cool, old school, iconic artwork that a lot of us have very cool memories and associations with. This artwork is seen a lot because it is in the public domain. Anybody can take this artwork and reproduce it. And they've done a wonderful job of choosing pieces of artwork for particular tokens and made those tokens relevant directly to what you're going to be expecting in a game of Magic the Gathering. So let's focus a little bit on the copyright issues related to this, and then talk more about the tokens. The tokens themselves are amazing. This is a blown up picture of the vampire token. They were nice enough to send me a few sample tokens so that I could see the quality of the printing on them, and the printing is just wonderful. Very, very nice. The cardstock on them is also very good. These are very durable cards. They'll bend and come back into shape. They will hold up while playing them over time. Very happy with the printing quality that's on these. And what they've done here is taken really famous pieces of public domain art and chose pieces of art that they thought would work really well with each of these different creature types. So for example, the vampire here is Dante and Virgil in Hell from 1850. An amazing piece of artwork. You can find a really high-res version of the artwork over on Wikipedia. They've done some interesting things with this particular token. They have cropped the artwork and shaded the artwork some to try to focus in on that central piece there and take out some of the sideline details. That is definitely an artistic choice of the company who's doing this. I probably would have cropped it and shaded it a little bit differently. What I would recommend with these tokens is Google each of the pieces of artwork and look at the original artwork and then look at what they've done to it. In most cases, they've done a wonderful job. I like what they've done overall, but in some cases you kind of miss the full breadth of the amazing artwork that it comes from. And it's an interesting activity just to go in and see that original piece of artwork also. What I like about this project is that it can act as a way to kind of educate people over some amazing pieces of artwork by bringing it into this wonderful modern game that we all play, and then see kind of the artistic roots that really influence the game that we have here today. I mean, the little demon that you've got flying there in the background, or maybe that's a vampire there. It looks like something that could be out of a modern day fantasy piece, and it was done over 150 years ago. Just incredible. Now, to clarify, when I talk about public domain is any piece of artwork that's basically old enough that the copyright has run out. There is no longer any copyright control over this artwork. Anyone can take these older pieces of artwork, typically artwork that was produced before 1923, and can use it, they can remix it, they can create their own tokens. And what this project has done is just done a great job of curating some collection of artwork that is really going to speak to people. The original artwork here has so much detail and so much life, and they captured a lot of that in the token itself. These are some of my favorite tokens so far. The monk, the squirrel, the vampire, and the thopter, the Thopter there has that wonderful flying machine sketch on it that is so famous from Leonardo da Vinci, and each of these has really cool pieces of artwork on it. There is one that kind of jumped out at me as a little bit of a challenging one that I wasn't super impressed with, which is the zombie. The zombie is a picture of a skeleton from Vincent van Gogh, and in Magic, skeletons and zombies are different things. But in doing some research for this video, it's really tough to find older pieces of artwork that are zombies, or what we consider to be modern day zombies. Most zombie artwork is much, much more recent. I did definitely see some religious pieces of corpses, but they weren't really animated when I was looking around. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, some of the earlier artwork there is some of the only like animated corpse artwork that you can find. This was probably definitely a challenge for them. Initially it didn't seem right to me, but given how difficult it is to find historical zombies, if you've got some suggestions of what type of public domain artwork you would have put it onto this zombie token, I would definitely be happy to see it. One other thing that seemed a little bit odd to me is that not all of the creature types are represented directly in this. For example, sapperling has been changed to sapling, and sapling is a small tree, although the artwork here is clearly pointing at the fungus, which is sapperling. This falls into a really weird area. There's a bunch of terms, such as sapperling, mere, merit liege, Eldrazi Scion, that are these made-up words by Wizards of the Coast. And my guess is, for copyright concern reasons, they decided to change these to other creature types, which is a little bit disjointed in looking at this. Now, does copyright ever cover a single word, even if you made that word up? And the answer to that is no. You cannot have copyright in a single word. Now, this is a collection of different tokens, though, and there are a bunch of different words that Wizards of the Coast uses in creating their fantasy world. And the producers of this Kickstarter have decided to steer clear of any of those original words. I believe that there is actually a pretty strong fair use case to use those words in their functional way in referring to the particular creature types. The leading edge case on this is also a little bit of an odd one. It's Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling versus RDR Books. And that was a case where the Harry Potter Lexicon, which is an online website, tried to print the book offline, and they were sued by J.K. Rowling, and and they eventually lost the lawsuit. Although the thing that you're not going to get from just reading the opinion is that within 3 months later, minor changes were made to the lexicon, and it was available on the shelves of Barnes & Noble and is today available through Amazon. How much you borrow from another piece of work affects your fair use analysis on that, and the functional aspects of something cannot be copyrighted. The pieces of something that are artistic can definitely be copyrighted. The story, the narrative, the clash between individuals specific to that story. But the name of something or the functional aspects in playing the game definitely cannot be copyrighted. Wizards also did own a patent on Magic the Gathering that covered a lot of different aspects of the game. That patent expired last year. There was a lawsuit over the patent, copyright claims, those types of things with Hex. That lawsuit has been resolved with a settlement. I did some videos on it earlier. I should do a wrap-up video at some point. But back to these tokens, I understand why they made the choice to steer clear of Wizards Legal. I wish they'd pushed the bounds a little bit more and kept the creature types there because I see them as very functional, but that's their choice in doing this project. What I really like about this project, though, is that it was clearly influenced by individuals who play the game, and it's very practical. Your basic tokens have some of the most commonly used tokens that are used with a lot of cards that we all really love. The modern collection gives you useful tokens for things like Bitter Blossom, Wormcoil Engine, and Garruk the Relentless, both sides of Garruk. The Legacy collection has a large number of zombies as part of it and has a large number of goblins also. One thing was a little bit odd about this. There is one storm counter and one poison counter. You're going to need multiples of those, but the Kickstarter does have a way for you to add on additional counters. I really like that they've created these small collections that let you focus on what you play and get the tokens that you would like. The Vintage collection has some of my favorite tokens in it, including monks for the mentor. The monk token artwork is that's there on the front of the box, and tokens for elementals. Young Pyromancer is just a powerhouse in Vintage. There's a commander collection that has a wide variety of different tokens. They also did playmats. This review doesn't cover the playmats. The playmats are made by Inked Gaming, who does amazing playmats, but I am really, really interested in the tokens, and I backed it exclusively for the tokens. Overall, I give this token collection an A-. I really, really like the quality of the printing, the great artwork that they chose. I wish they had pushed the boundary a little bit more on the copyright side with the creature types, because the creature types can be a little bit jarring. Also, the cropping on some of the artwork is not necessarily what I would have done, but it does look very good overall. I am more than happy as a backer of this Kickstarter project. Thank you to everybody who's out there. This is one of my first Kickstarter reviews. If this was something that was useful to you, please subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think. I will be giving away the tokens that I was gifted to do this review to patrons of the channel. If you like the work that I'm doing, please support the channel, and thank you all so much for supporting Mythic MTG Tech. Until next time, choose the cards wisely.